So Blizzard f***ed up. Blizzard did a they f***ed up. They f***ed up. Oh.
Well,
there it is.
everybody, unfortunately, I have to bring you a little bit of bad news with this short video, but there's a lot of drama in the World of Warcraft community right now, specifically the classic WoW side of the community. Blizzard has messed up and has made a lot of people very angry, to say the least. And I'm going to explain what happened and what's going on. Gonna throw my thoughts out there. Feel free to leave a comment down below with what you think. Real fast though, the channel is sponsored by Zygor, World of Warcraft's ultimate add-on for the War Within, for Classic WoW, for whatever version of WoW that you want. Pets, mounts, achievements, questing, leveling up faster, whatever. Zygor does it all. Link down below in the description. So today we're going to talk about the classic era servers. Yes, you know, the classic era realms, those seemingly long forgotten realms that are touched by only the most die-hard of classic WoW fans. And now
I think classic era is actually getting more popular. Like it's going to go through stages of popularity, but like I don't think the game is ever really going to like fall off because it's just a good game. It's the same as like people still play Super Mario Brothers 3. People still play Ocarina of Time.
As you guys are probably well aware, these servers are meant to exist as a sort of time capsule to the 2019 version of Classic WoW. For those that just want to re-experience the game as it was back when it got re-released, it's not exactly original vanilla WoW, but it's as close as you're going to get from Blizzard. And so, you know, the classic era realms, there's a lot of people, probably people watching this video right now that play on them, that love them, and yeah. Now, originally...
Yeah, they've grown a lot recently. And also, I think the reason why is that, like, it's so much of a solved game that a lot of people like that. They like the fact that this game is like a defined game. They know what they're getting into, and they know everything about it. It's like a sense of security, you know?
When Blizzard was doing the classic WoW idea, we thought that what was going to happen is once TBC came out and Wrath of the Lich King or whatever, all these realms were just going to become TBC realms and Wrath of the Lich King realms. But Blizzard decided not to do that. Instead, what Blizzard did is they kept these original classic era realms.
So happy to see
and
this.
They told us that they were going to keep these servers untouched as just that portal, that window into OG World of Warcraft. Blizzard even offered paid character cloning back in the day, for those that might remember, where you could pay $15 and you could have a character both on the TBC realms as well as the classic era realms if you wanted. And
this was a very good decision by Blizzard again.
One of the selling points. You know, you could keep your character on classic era for $15 and you could have your TBC version of the character. It was cool. And that all sounds good, but unfortunately, Blizzard has screwed things up as of...
Who could have ever predicted such a dramatic change of events that Blizzard messed... Can you believe that? Oh my god. I'm gonna be honest, bro. Seeing that warrior here, look at that, bro. He's got the Stronghold gauntlets. He's got Maladath, Conqueror's shoulders, Lionheart helm. I think that's one of the weapons from AQ40. I can't really tell. Is that Onslaught girdle?
Yesterday at the time of...
God, bro. Yeah, he's got the dagger. He's got Titanic leg plates, Chromagus's boots. Oh, man. This dude is stacked.
Me recording this.
Yeah.
So for some reason, a reason that nobody knows, Blizzard is changing the classic era realms. Now, the changes that they've put out are not really that extensive.
No, not really.
But they're going to leave you just kind of, if you're a classic fan, you're going to be like, why? So here's what they did. So the first thing that they did is Blizzard changed the guild UI in the classic era realms. So instead of it being the original guild UI, it instead looks like the modern day guild UI. And Blizzard says this is just for like ease of use or something. The second,
I thought the old guild UI was better. I don't know why. Like, if you're playing classic WoW, like, what's their reasoning about, like, so you have people that are intentionally playing the old version of the game. How do you think you're helping them or serving their needs by adding things that aren't part of the old version of the game? Like, I don't understand that. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Second thing that they did is that they are giving Alliance players now access to a world buff called the Might of Stormwind. And this is meant to be an equivalent to War Chief's Blessing on the Horde side, but this, of course, is for Alliance players. And then finally,
See, they should have done this whenever Classic came out originally. Like, they shouldn't be doing this now. Like, this would have been a good decision if they had done this in 2019. But I think the reason why people are so defensive about it now is because, like, there's another change. He hasn't talked about it yet. They're giving druids the ability to use pole arms. That doesn't really break the game, but it changes the game. It does. It is a change to the game. But why, right? Exactly, why? Why do you need to do this?
Some reason in Classic era now, druids can now use pole arms.
And
all of this is to say that it is very possible that we are going to see future changes to Classic WoW down the road, because Blizzard does have a track record of implementing these little changes.
You want to know what's kind of ironic about this? Is I think that whenever Season of Discovery was announced, what people really wanted from Classic Plus were these changes. Like, if somebody asked me, like, if you made Classic Plus, would you want these changes put in the game? The answer would be absolutely yes. Absolutely, these changes make the game better. I think it's not even a question. But it's not Classic. And people that are playing on Era are playing on Era to play Classic.
Changes that nobody asked for, and then eventually just slipping in more and more and more. Here's why people are losing their minds, okay? First of all, as I said, the Classic era realms are not supposed to be touched by Blizzard.
Yeah.
And this is not like, oh, my opinion.
That's what
or
they
like
said.
That
they
guy's
said
opinion or something.
Gee, look at all this. Holy fuck, bro. Oh, he's painting Warhammer. Oh, fuck. All right.
Blizzard themselves said that these era realms are not going to be touched by them.
Yeah.
It is one of the selling points of why people play on the Classic era realms.
Yeah.
It's 2019 Classic WoW, untouched, whatever. Like, that's why people...
Yeah, I think people are upset and concerned about this on a principle level. Because, like, really... giving Alliance a version of Ren's Blessing, I actually think that, like, if you made the argument that the Horde having that creates, like, a unique, interesting interaction between having people mind control each other, I think that there's definitely an argument to be made there. I'm not saying that I agree with it, and I think that overall it's probably better that both have the same thing, but I'm not completely... like, sold on that. Yeah, where does it stop, right? That's where people are concerned about. They're concerned about where does it stop.
Like it, why people play on it. Number two, one thing that people are talking about is the character cloning. People pay...
Somebody says, I fucking hate this guy. He's straight up lying by omitting facts. Go ahead. This is a bug due to client changes. Last time I checked, Blizzard doesn't announce bugs in patch notes. Read the Reddit. Pallies are getting fishing levels by using skills. You are saying that these changes are bugs because other bugs exist as an outcome of this patch. I'm saying that some changes are bugs. What you're talking about is a bug, but that doesn't mean that everything that was announced was a bug. Also, Paladins getting fishing levels from using skills is not in the patch notes, whereas this was. So something being in the patch notes implies that it was made intended, and something not being in it implies that it was not. Okay, maybe I'm wrong, but I could have sworn the wind buff was sod only. It should be sod only. And I know what you're saying. You're saying that you thought these changes only went to Season of Discovery, and they didn't go to all of the servers. And what I am saying, and what a lot of other people are saying, is that they did actually go to Era servers. So these were the changes that were announced for Classic Era and hardcore. So these were defined changes that were announced for Era by Kyvax, who's a guy named Randy, and he's worked at Blizzard for... He didn't fuck this up accidentally. Like, he put it in there on purpose. Definitely wrong then, my bad. Don't hate this guy anymore. For sure. That's fine. Mistakes happen.
Cloning. People paid $15 to keep their character on the classic Era realms because Blizzard said that these realms were not going to be touched. Because they wanted to keep a character in that 2019 version of World of Warcraft, they paid money for this. And the final reason why people are losing their minds, and this is something that not everybody is going to understand. Okay, and I'm going to try to like make a comparison to a different video game so that maybe it makes a little bit more sense. But here's the thing, if you are a classic WoW fan, you know, if you're one of these people that you just love classic WoW, maybe it was a part of your childhood, like when you were growing up, like me, or maybe it's just something you fell in love with when it was re-released in 2019. You are just a huge classic WoW fan. Classic WoW Andes don't like it when Blizzard puts a change into classic WoW.
That's why they're playing classic WoW. It's that simple. It's such an easy way to look at it. And again, I think that what really people are concerned about is like, and if you go ask Kevin Jordan, there seemed to be no like logical reason that some world buffs were dispellable and other ones weren't. And what I mean by that is that like Blizzard never really, I think, intended for you to be able to dispel world buffs, the buffs from like Dire Maul or Songflower. This was never planned. It was a bug, basically. But the game has been defined for so long that that bug is now part of the game. It's like if Nintendo remade Super Smash Bros. Melee without wave dashing. I don't think the Melee community would like that. Because people have defined and built the game up around these metas, and they've changed the game and built it off of that. And to be fair, Smash Bros. Melee probably should have never had wave dashing. But because it's evolved and it's become normalized, now it's part of the game. That's always been the game. No changes. Yeah, exactly. And so I think that's the big issue. More than anything, it's the precedent that it sets. And also, like, there's no reason functionally why druids should be able to use pole arms. Like, for example, like you could say, oh, well, they're fixing a bug or they're fixing something where like Horde have an advantage over Alliance. I mean, any like shamans and paladins are asymmetrical, right? They're not the same thing. It's not like shamans do healing wave that does the exact same thing as holy light, right? It's close, but it's not the same.
Doesn't matter if it's a new quest, it doesn't matter if it's a level boost, it doesn't matter if it's a WoW token or a new world buff, or like druids can use pole arms all of a sudden. It doesn't matter because it's like, why are you touching something that doesn't need to be touched? What is the point of doing that?
Well, it's not only that it doesn't need to be touched, it's that the entire existence of it is built off of it not being touched.
It would be like Bungie coming back and they're like, oh, hey, we're going to re-release to you the original Halo game. Exactly as it was, dude. It's Halo. Halo 1, man. You're going to play as Master Chief. You're going to fight the Covenant. You're going to fight the Flood. It's going to be awesome. But we're going to add some cosmetics into it, you know, some purchasable armor upgrades. We're just going to do a few small things. We're going to balance the game a little bit better, you know, kind of tweak the enemies or something. That Warthog run was a little bit long, so maybe we're going to cut like 30 seconds out of the Warthog run at the end. But it's Halo, dude. It's the Halo.
I think a better one-to-one is like vehicles can get blown up. Because in Halo 1, it's really hard to get a vehicle blown up. I think it's like impossible, basically. Like, so like you can blow up vehicles in Halo 1. Or the pistol gets nerfed, right? Because of how strong the pistol was. Like, that's really what the changes are, right? Like, that's, because it's like they're rebalancing the game to make it more fair and more balanced. However, that's not why people are there.
Experience. No, it's not. It's not the Halo experience. Just
Yeah.
give people the original game. And this is how people see Classic WoW. Like, don't give us Classic with like, oh, let's throw some balancing in there. Hey, let's make it so that, you know, the character classes can use new weapons. Hey, let's put some new world buffs in there. Hey, let's update the UI a little bit. Players don't want that. If somebody wants to play Classic,
Yeah.
they want to play Classic. Also, a little side note, just personal opinion here. I think the old guild UI looks way better than this modern.
It does. It's so much cleaner. It's obvious. Everything. It's like you've got the level, the class, the name, and where they are. How the fuck is this? How do you improve? Like, this is, you know what this is like? Somebody at Blizzard, whenever they had a problem with this, was like, I need to figure out a way to make sure I don't get fired. Let's create a problem that doesn't exist. And that's what it was.
Day like crap,
it's fine,
but that's just my opinion. So look, people are pissed off, and this is at the same time when freaking like Turtle WoW is putting out a damn trailer showing off that like, oh hey, we have Classic Plus, and you know we've got World of Warcraft coming out in Unreal Engine 5. You know, it's like the Classic fans are like, man, what the heck are we doing giving Blizzard $15 a month when we could go play over here? It's like a little PR disaster for Blizzard. But in response, and I don't think anything's really going to come of this, but players have created a petition.
I love how the top supporter voices for Classic WoW players are exactly what you think they are. Fucking exactly. Yep. As in, just like
Blizzard
you,
to get these changes
I
out
could
of
be on
Classic
this list.
WoW. You can see it on your screen right now. I am going to link it down below in the description if you want to sign it, if you want to show your support behind it. I think this was stupid on Blizzard's part. There was no Classic player that was playing on the Classic realms wanted Blizzard to touch the Classic era realms. Nobody asked for this. There was no benefit to Blizzard doing this, and they did it anyway, and it just made them look like a company that doesn't listen to their players. Because I guarantee
the problem is that people have been asking for the world buffs to be undispellable ever since the second week of Classic WoW. But Blizzard never listened for 5 years, and the game evolved to have that be one of the quirks that the game is built off of. To be honest, all of these changes, minus the Druid thing, should have been in the game since Vanilla WoW. Or they should have been in the game since Classic WoW in 2019. They should have always been there. But now that they're adding them in, after you've already said this is what era is, nah, bro. Like I think they should revert all of it. They just take it back. Even though I support that, I think they should do that in Season of Discovery. Because Classic WoW at this point is a defined entity. I'll give you an example. A parallel. That's barely a parallel. Blizzard offered to rebalance Brood War. You know, StarCraft 1, the first expansion, Brood War. They said, guys, we can make this and we can rebalance it and keep making new patches. And a lot of the professional players were like, no, don't do that. No, please don't fix it. Please don't try to fix it. Please don't try to fix it, guys. Listen, we've got a nice thing going here. Everything's fine. Please don't reforge the game.
If we get 10 people who actively play on the Classic era realms, and we're like, hey guys, do you want Druids to be able to use polearms? Do you want the Alliance to have their own world buff? Do you want, like, you know, UI upgrades in Classic?
Everybody wants something new in Classic WoW and thinks that it would make the game better. And I think that in a lot of those cases, they're right. But the one thing that they're all wrong about is that it's Classic WoW. These changes should have been in at 2019, like many other changes that deviated from retail WoW, Classic WoW from vanilla. But at this point, there should be no changes. Unless it's like a legitimate bug where it's like somebody figured out a way to like one-shot a boss or something like that, right? Like a legitimate exploit.
Classic WoW, they're gonna say, no, I don't want that stuff because I'm playing Classic because I want to play Classic. So hopefully this petition does something.
It's completely fucking right.
Probably not, but for those of us that are big fans,
I think it will. I think the Classic WoW team will listen to this and revert things. I do. I understand this might sound like a fucking delusional take, but I think that the Classic WoW team will listen to this and they will make a change based off of it.
Classic WoW and want to see Classic era kept,
I think they just made a bad decision. That's all.
I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. Bro, he's so fucking right. Here, I'll link you guys the video. Give it a like. He's so fucking right about this. Yeah, this video came out just a little bit ago, so make sure to give him some support. I mean, the Classic team is good, to be honest. I think that they are well-intentioned, but I don't think that they have the right... like, the Classic WoW team, I really like them, and I think that they are well-intentioned and are trying to make the game better. But I think there's a certain degree of insight that they don't have. That's my opinion. And it's like, I'm fine with that. It's okay. But I just... I hope that... I hope the Classic community, and like especially the development team, can understand that the weirdness and asymmetrical design of Classic WoW created gameplay. It made the game have a unique texture that causes people to go back and play it 20 years from whenever it came out. That's what, something off the class, exactly, right? And so, like, for example, like if you make all classes self-sufficient, you remove the need for class interdependency while questing. So it sounds really good. And every warrior wants Victory Rush. Of course you want Victory Rush as a warrior. It's easy. Yes, it makes things way better. But giving people what they want isn't always a good thing. Sometimes you have to give people what they need. And Classic WoW gave people what they needed and not what they wanted. That's what I think. Lonnie, of course you want Victory Rush? I do. And everybody wants something like Victory Rush. You know, mages want to heal. Paladins want an attack button. Druids want to be able to have a normal resurrect. But every single one of those things changes the game. They do. They change the game. And I wish that more people saw that and respected that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't the No Changes crowd made fun of a few years ago whenever Classic Fresh was turned out, and it turned out to have some changes? No Changes was a really great foundation to begin Classic WoW, and I think that some changes should have been made, and in fact, those changes did get made. However, now that it's happened, we can go back, turn around, and look and see, you know what? These changes weren't so good, these were good, etc. So I think it really depends.